Okay, picture this. You're at a roulette table. Maybe you're just watching a tracker online, and you see red, then red again, then red again.
Right.
The streak just keeps growing. 7, 8, maybe 9 spins in a row on the same color. And you can feel it, that adrenaline rush.
Oh, yeah. That gut feeling.
Exactly. Everything inside you is just screaming
Yeah.
that black is...
I absolutely do. You know, like the universe has to correct itself.
And that feeling, that powerful, visceral response is precisely what our sources today call the gambler's fallacy.
The big one.
It's this deep, fundamental misunderstanding that what happened in the past, which are all independent events, somehow changes the odds of what's about to happen. The wheel, it just doesn't have a memory.
Right. And S.T.Y.W, an author whose research really underpins this whole deep dive, calls that instinct, and I'm quoting here, the most expensive mistake in gambling.
It makes sense. If you're betting on a feeling, you're just throwing your money at pure, unpredictable randomness. And that's what's so fascinating about the material we're looking at. It details a method that, it forces you to completely ignore that instinct. It's called the DE2D system.
Yeah, data-driven execution and distribution.
Yeah.
It basically tells you to do the polar opposite of what your gut is screaming at you to do.
So our mission today is to unpack this strategy. It's a system that trades that emotional guesswork for mathematical patience. It's about turning a hopeful guess into a calculated ambush. Okay, let's unpack this.
So to start, we have to look at the simple math, the baseline. This system targets dozens or columns, those big 12-number sectors on the table.
Okay.
And mathematically, any one of those should hit about 32.4% of the time.
So roughly 1 out of every 3 spins.
Yeah.
If the world were perfect, you'd see like a win, 2 losses, a win, 2 losses. A nice, clean pattern.
Exactly. But randomness is never clean, is it? It's frumpy. It's misses.
It's like hitting 5 red lights in a row, even though the average weight is supposed to be short.
That's a perfect analogy. And that clumpiness, that unevenness, is what the system calls distribution lag.
So the whole philosophy of DE2D is not to react to the small clumps, a dozen missing 4 or 5 times, but to wait until that clump becomes a really significant statistical slump.
You're hunting for what the material calls the sleeping giant.
A sleeping giant. I like that.
It's a dozen or a column that has just gone cold for an unusually long time. You're not chasing the little dips. You're waiting for a real statistical distortion to build up. Something that suggests a correction is, mathematically probable.
And this brings us to what I think is the most counterintuitive part of this whole thing, the patience part.
The waiting game.
Yeah. So you spot the sleeping giant. Let's say the third dozen hasn't hit for 5 spins. The rule, the very strict rule, is a weight threshold of 10 consecutive misses. You have to sit out those first 10 losses.
And this is where it gets psychologically agonizing. You're intentionally letting potential wins just float by. Spin 6, 7, 8.
It feels crazy. I mean, you watch a dozen miss 7 times, and you're thinking, it's got to be now. I should have jumped in. Why does the system demand you do nothing?
It's all about capital preservation. All of it. Those streaks of 5, 6, 7 misses, they're really, really common. They're just statistical noise.
Okay.
If you start betting at 5 misses, you are just burning through your bankroll, covering the most frequent normal dips. And that's going to wipe you out before a real long streak even gets going.
So you're saving your ammunition for the true outliers. You're not betting on something that happens every few minutes. You're waiting for the one that happens maybe once an hour, where the odds are genuinely in your favor.
Precisely. There's a mantra in the source material that I love. We don't chase ghosts, we ambush them.
I like that.
You let the random noise eat itself. You let those early losses happen to an imaginary bankroll, not yours. You only step in when it's statistically significant.
Okay, but if we're going to wait that long, we have to talk about the monkey wrench in every roulette system.
The green zero.
But what about the zero? Everybody asks it.
The DE2D system has a very simple, clean rule for this, the zero protocol. And it's simple. For tracking, a 0 is just another miss.
It doesn't reset the count.
Not at all. It doesn't reset anything.
Which makes total sense when you think about it. If you're betting on the first dozen and the ball hits 0, you lose.
You lose. So it's another spin where your target didn't hit. It just adds to the statistical pressure on that sleeping dozen. It moves you one step closer to that 10 miss trigger.
Okay, so the trigger finally fires, the 10th miss lands. Now you bet. But how you bet is just as important, right? This system is very, very against the martingale approach.
Oh, absolutely. Martingale doubling your bet after every loss is just financial suicide on a long streak. The bets get huge so fast you either hit the table limit or your bankroll just evaporates.
So instead of that high-speed explosion, DE2D uses the Fibonacci sequence.
The slow burn. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8.
And why that one specifically?
It's designed to withstand those longer losing streaks. Remember, even after 10 misses, you could still lose another 10 or 15 times. It can happen. Fibonacci manages that risk. The bet progression is much, much slower.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. The recovery. It's not just about surviving.
No, it's brilliant. A win at any step in the Fibonacci sequence is mathematically designed to recoup all your previous losses in that run.
And guarantee a profit.
And guarantee a net profit, yes.
So walk me through the math. Let's use a simple $1 base unit.
Okay, so you've waited 10 spins, you start betting, first bet $1, you lose, second bet $1 again, you lose, your total cost so far is $2.
Right.
The next number in the sequence is 2, so you bet $2, and this time you win.
And a dozen pays 2 to 1, so that $2 bet gets you $6 back.
Exactly. You spent a total of $4 1 plus 2, you got 6 back. That's a $2 net profit.
So you covered everything you lost and you came out ahead. It's designed to just claw back the loss and push you forward.
It prioritizes survival. That's the key.
Okay, there's a great example from the source material. Let's visualize it. Dozen 2 has missed 9 times.
Right.
Spin 10. It lands on 0, which we now know is just another miss. So
Yep.
boom, the trigger fires. We're at 10 misses.
So we start the progression, spin 11, we bet $1 and dozen 2, it loses. We're now at 11
It's
misses.
spin 12.
Yeah.
We bet $1 again, it loses. Now it's 12 misses.
Spin 13. We move up the sequence, we bet $2 on dozen 2, and the ball lands on 14. That's a win.
And you've secured your profit. You weathered the 10-spin wait, a 0 and 2 losses to get there. It's not really gambling at that point, is it? It feels more like resource management.
It is, and that gets us to the final piece. Why 10? Why is 10 the magic number? It's not a guess. It comes from analyzing a huge data set, 5 million spins.
So they actually quantified the risk at different entry points.
They did. The analysis broke it down into 3 main profiles. First, entering at 6 misses. This is what they call the gambler's entry.
Sounds about right. It feels like you've been patient, but you're still early.
And it's a trap. Because a dozen missing 6 times is so common, it's just noise. The big risk is you're totally exposed to what they call the long tails.
The catastrophic streak.
The 30, 40, 50 spin droughts. They're rare, but they happen. And if you start betting at 6 misses, you'll have burned through your whole bankroll on common noise long before that real monster streak is over.
Okay, so that's too risky.
Yeah.
What about the other extreme? Waiting for 12 misses? The safest entry.
It's genuinely low risk. A 12 miss streak is a significant anomaly. The problem is, it's just too rare.
You'd be waiting forever.
You can be sitting there for hours waiting for just one opportunity. It's safe, but it's not a practical system.
Which leaves us right in the middle. At 10 misses, the
Yeah.
sweet spot.
That's the one. It is the data-driven compromise. It fires often enough to be practical, but late enough that you've sidestepped the vast majority of the bankroll killing noise in that 6 to 9 miss range. It gives you the best ratio of win probability versus bankroll survival.
And they have real numbers for this, right? The bankroll math.
They do. With an $1,100 bankroll and a $1 base unit, entering at 10 misses lets you survive a total losing streak of about 25 misses.
Okay, so that's the 10 misses you wait for.
Plus 15 more losses in a row after you start betting. That's enough to cover almost the entire Fibonacci progression before the bets get too large.
So that $1,100 bankroll is specifically designed to absorb a massive, statistically rare 25-spin losing streak.
Streaks longer than that are incredibly rare in the data. So by waiting for 10, you've just stacked the odds of survival massively in your favor. It's no longer an emotional game, it's a statistical one.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the whole DE2D system it's a masterclass in replacement, really. You're replacing that frantic, it's due feeling with a calm, data-driven plan.
The core lesson is about controlling your emotions when the stakes are high. It forces you to trust the long-term data with the short-term chaos of the moment. You stop chasing ghosts.
And you start ambushing real statistical corrections. The discipline, though. The discipline to sit on your hands and watch a dozen miss 9 times in a row, knowing you could be betting, but you're choosing not to. That's profound.
It is. And that skill, that patience, is valuable far beyond a casino. I mean, think about investing or even career planning. waiting for the right opportunity to mature before you go all in with your resources.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Where in your own life, maybe in your finances or in a big project or any decision with limited resources, might you be betting too early on noise? Are you letting that gut feeling rush you into action based on normal ups and downs? Or are you preparing to patiently ambush a true, mathematically significant outlier?
Think about the power of waiting for that 10th miss.